It'll be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Frank Menken, and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hey, Frank. Hey, Froe Show peeps.
Episode 18. I'm going to keep doing
18.
that every single time, yeah. 18.
18.
It's getting up there.
Man.
It's wild.
It is wild.
I really hope this fader thing works.
You know, I just looked over at the levels, and I think the music was blasting.
Well, we're recording multi-track, so that's your problem.
I was hoping I wouldn't have to do any processing now. But
Well,
you can just do it again.
no, I don't want to do it again. We're already in the episode. It's fine. Hello.
Hello.
We're back. We're recording significantly later than we normally are.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit exhausted.
Same.
I'm just like...
Normally I'm like fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm a bit like physically and emotionally drained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like
kinda
we're both a bit on that level. But...
I even got here and I felt the vibe of like...
Yeah, it's like... I was just like, nah. It's one of them days. But energy, vibing.
We're here.
Do have a minor problem though.
Oh, what?
I don't remember which buttons do what. So I'm pretty sure that this button will lead into our next segment, but it could be completely wrong. So
can you color code these? Like change the colors?
Yeah, I can change the colors.
Wait, start there.
Okay. Well,
We can change the colors.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
That's why I have it this color.
Actually, you meant to put the whiteboard thing there so you know which is
No,
which.
because that looks disgusting. Then
Yeah,
this
it
isn't a
doesn't
cool
look very
prop
nice.
anymore. Oh, speaking of props, we have a duck now.
We did.
Audio listeners, check out the YouTube. We have our little duck friend sitting on our roadcaster. He's lovely. We love him. And he is officially our mascot for the show.
Yeah. You know, seeing that other duck behind you, I reckon that he should grow every week.
He should get slightly larger ducks every week.
Because that duck you have behind you is significantly larger than this one.
This is true. It's like 5 times larger than that duck.
Yeah. At least.
At least. All right. Anyway, news.
Yeah, you got it right.
I nailed it. Welcome to Froe News, the entertainment news weekly, brought to you by the Froe Show. I am your news anchor, Frank Menken. Joe, question before we get into it. Do you have any news this week?
I do not.
You do not. That's okay. I do have news. Are you going to eat already? We're like 3 minutes in.
Yeah, well, I'm snacky. I haven't had lunch. I'm snacky.
Okay, I'm restarting the segment. Welcome to Froe News, the entertainment news weekly. I am your anchor, Frank Menken, and this is your other anchor, Joe Murray, but he has no news, so it's just me this week.
I'm snacking.
He's snacking. Okay, first news item of this week is there is a new competitor in the streaming service industry. A new Twitter page has shown up called BRIME. It is BRIME, the streaming service. It's real shifty. And I have written in my notes, do more research prior to the show. Didn't do that, but I have a good reason because there is no more information. They're just like a Twitter account that's just kind of posted very cryptic tweets that like all the big Twitch creators and stuff are going to be moving onto their platform. So it could be the next Twitch, could also be a bunch of made up nothing.
That's weird.
That's just, very strange. Right. Next up, Chris Hemsworth is to bulk up even more to play Hulk Hogan, the famous wrestler, in his biopic. He's been quoted to say, I'm going to have that... Sorry, let me start that again. I'm going to have to put on more size than I ever have before, even when I put on for Thor. It's not just the physical either. There's the accent and the attitude. I'll have to deep dive into the wrestling world, which I'm excited for. So that'll be a very good film. Hulk Hogan is obviously one of the kingpins of the wrestling industry. And it'll be really cool to see Chris Hemsworth's take on that character. Next up, Disney has officially confirmed that Tron 3 is in development. Reportedly, Jared Leto is in talks to star in the film. Still in very early development. However, they're hopeful that the Tron Legacy director, Joseph Kosinski, will return for this film. So that's very good. I love Tron Legacy.
I actually haven't seen the whole thing
We're doing
yet.
a movie night. It's very good.
I've seen the first 10 minutes probably 6 times. And then just
Yeah,
haven't,
I don't think I've seen it since I was a
finished
kid. This is not news, but the Tron Legacy video game on the PS3 was the first video game I ever 100%ed.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Anyway, next up, Shelley Duvall, the leading lady from The Shining, turned 71 last week.
No.
Yes, very exciting. She's still alive. I don't know why I said she's still alive. So is Jack Nicholson, so it shouldn't be that surprising. But she turned 71. She's doing great. Next up, John Mulaney's kids comedy special, The Sack Lunch Bunch, has just had 2 more episodes bought by Comedy Central. Originally, it was a Netflix special, and Comedy Central has bought 2 episodes from Mr. Mulaney. So that'll be very good. Personally, I think this feels very much like Comedy Central's last-ditch effort to stay relevant. They've kind of been circling the drain for quite some time now. Wow. Next up, in continuation from our talks last week about Mixer, Ninja is currently in negotiations with several streaming platforms, yet no exclusive deals have been signed yet, including with YouTube. On Thursday last week, Ninja did a live stream on YouTube on his own, so it's looking like he's kind of jumping between platforms, trying to find one that can stick, and that will give him an exclusive deal that is worth more than the combined amount that he would make regularly.
Yeah.
Next up, Jude Law is in talks to play Captain Hook in Disney's live-action Peter Pan film. Be very cool. I love Jude Law. Phenomenal actor. Lastly, Zendaya and John David Washington... Zendaya, John David Washington are set to star in a film created by the Euphoria director Sam Levinson that was started and finished entirely during the pandemic and was written and shot in secret. Was filmed entirely in one location and written over the course of 6 days. They shot for 2 weeks. The cast and crew wore masks, socially distanced, had their own separate houses with individual HVAC units. I'm not sure what that is. They took hikes, rehearsed in the parking lot, and ate in designated spots, food prepared by a chef who had been quarantined with the group, and no one was allowed to leave the property.
Wow.
So they shot a film entirely in quarantine.
Actually, I have a little interesting fact for that I was going to bring up later, but this is a perfect time.
Okay.
Yeah, they're actually some movies, I think more smaller scale ones, when they're shooting like 2 characters talking to each other that would normally be quite close, they're actually doing that whole thing where they're further apart and then they cut the shot so they look like they're right next to each other.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll use that a lot in this film as well. It's being compared a lot to Netflix's film from last year, Marriage Story, with...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've immediately blanked on his name. Dude who plays Kylo Ren and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Adam Driver. That's him.
It.
Yep, that's the entertainment news for this week. Thank you. See you next week. All right, sick.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of news this week.
That was a lot of news.
Yeah. I just kept like stumbling upon thing after thing after thing, and I was like, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
I'm constantly impressed on like how much you sound like a news anchor when you do that.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
I did do a year of drama school.
That is true, yeah.
Before
I always forget about that.
Yeah. And then I went, Okay. I'm going to get controversial.
Oh,
I am.
Already?
We're
like 10 minutes in, dude.
We are 8 minutes in, actually.
Not even 10
Not
minutes
even 10 minutes in.
I'm excited.
Last week I talked about The Last of Us 2.
Yes.
And I talked about how I was about halfway through the game. I have finished it now.
Yeah.
And I am going to go against the grain.
What?
And say that I loved it.
Oh, right.
I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
It gets so much hate.
Yeah.
So much hate.
Yeah.
But and I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna do spoilers or anything because I don't think it's worth it. It hasn't been out for that long, so I don't really want to. And I think you really want to play it as well. So I'm not gonna do spoilers. But that being said, the way that they tell the story is so different to any video game that I've ever played.
Right.
And I think the thing that people dislike with it is that the story that you have at the start of the game is not at all the story that you have at the end of the game.
Right.
Because the story at the start is like, I want revenge. But by the end of the game, you're like, do I? It's a game that really makes you think, and the thing is that you kind of have to be open to that. And if you're playing it just as a video game with one track mind, one goal, and you're not investing in the story, and you're not investing in the growth of these characters and how they change over time, you're going to be disappointed.
Right.
But if you're going into it open to new ideas and open to change and a different point of view to what you're used to, you'll love it.
Right.
And I cried like a baby at the end. Like literally, I had to leave and have a shower so I could just sob in the shower.
Oh, wow.
I was just sitting on the floor of the shower, just like.
It was that good.
It was that good. I was so sad that it was ending.
I'm excited. Why did it get so much hate though? Because of that reason? Because of those reasons? The story?
Yeah, well, because, and this isn't really a spoiler anymore because it's been plastered all over the internet, and I'm sure you won't mind either. But in the middle of the game, you switch perspective to the villain, and you go through the whole story again from the perspective of the villain.
All right.
So the first 14 hours of the game is 3 days, and then you restart on day 1 with the villain. And it's supposed to show that, like, because you and the villain have very similar stories. And it's the villain is just slightly further along in your story than you are.
Right.
And because they're further along, they're the villain in your story. But if you take revenge, that's kind of the whole thing, is like, if you take revenge on them, then you become the villain in someone else's story, and the cycle continues, and it never, ever ends.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I will admit that I did almost turn the game off.
Really?
Yeah, I sat there for like a solid 5 minutes thinking, is this worth it? Like, is this worth it for me to continue playing after basically being entirely reset? Because that's basically what happens, is like you're completely reset. All of everything you've worked for, all your weapons, all of your skills, everything is just taken away because you're starting as a new character.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so that was it's really strange, and it's something I've never seen in a video game before. But I think it works really, really well, and I think that people are just not giving it a chance because they have preconceived notions of the game, or they have different expectations. They want that ending that you want at the start. They want that revenge.
Yeah.
And that's taken away from them, so they're just throwing a hissy fit. That being said, though, I get people's opinions on it, and I understand why people don't like it.
Yeah.
I just think that personally, I am the target audience.
Yeah.
And I can see that for a lot of people, they wouldn't be.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's my little controversial thing. I don't really want to go too into it because I know that it's still pretty spoiler heavy and that sort of thing. So I don't really want to go fully into the story. But I would really recommend that if you're interested in the story in any way, that you should play it at the very least, so that you can form your own opinion on it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
I'm pretty keen. I'm pretty keen to play
it's
it.
good. It's very, very good. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you're also the target audience.
Yeah.
That being said, speaking of The Last of Us, there is a Last of Us TV show in pre-production at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be distributed by HBO, I think. And it's going to follow the first game.
Right.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah,
I have very
that'd be
little
weird.
information on that. There's not really any information out on it just yet. Because most of it's just like pre-production stuff. So like,
Yeah.
we're doing this, we haven't cast anyone yet.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Are there any other, like, I'm trying to think of other things that have done that where they've gone from a game to a...
Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's that's the big one.
Is that
Tomb
fairly
Raider.
similar to The Last of Us, though?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Very different.
Confused.
I
I
know there's a couple that have done. There are a couple, but it doesn't happen that often that a game goes to a movie.
Yeah.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, quite often it goes from a movie to a game.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, would recommend.
Yes.
After the show, remind me to give them to you.
I will.
So that I don't forget.
Yeah.
I have something exciting for you, actually.
Oh.
Unrelated. Next topic.
What?
Segue. I don't have the segue.
Where's the segue? Did you not put it in?
No, I didn't. I forgot.
Oh.
Sorry. Segue. wait.
It doesn't work when you're in mono.
Oh. Well, this is a mono mic anyway, so
Exactly.
yeah.
For the audio listeners, Frank just went past.
Well,
his
they'll
mic,
still
so
hear
he
me
can
go like soft and quiet.
Yeah, it's soft and quiet.
Soft and
Quiet and loud.
Yeah.
Louder and softer.
Wow, I am so out of it.
This is why we need to do it in the morning.
This is why we do it in the morning. Exactly. What time is it? What time is it?
I don't know.
It's 2:37 in the afternoon.
Oh my goodness.
It's not even that late.
No.
We're just old people. Oh man. No,
Anyway.
I have something exciting for you.
Yes.
Zoom, not Zoom the Wow, that gets confusing. Not Zoom the Skype clone, Zoom the audio people. Zoom
They're the people who make the portable.
Yes.
A lot of portable recording equipment.
Yes. And this week they have announced a new one. It is the Zoom H8.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. It has
that's another handheld one.
Yep. Yeah, it is. And it has 4 XLR inputs and 2 XLR/mic inputs.
What?
Like the XLR ones with the
TS.
middle bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it I just took
For
that.
audio people.
I took that straight from the website. It says 2 XLR/mic in.
What?
Yeah. It's the ones that the Zoom already has. It's the Zoom
That's
that you
weird.
used the other day.
So it has 6 inputs.
Yes. Yeah.
4. Wait. Read that again.
It has 4 XLR only inputs.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then 2 XLR/mic in inputs.
/mic in.
Like the
Anyway,
just
it's the TS or TRS cables.
yes,
inputs.
that's what
Guitar
it is.
leads.
Yes. And I just want to show you a picture of it.
Oh, does it look weird?
It just like yes, is the
It
short
looks
answer.
weird.
But it kind of just looks like a spider when everything's plugged in.
spider?
It's really. I'm just going to show you the picture.
Well, you saw the Oh. What?
Yeah, I'll put a picture of it on screen. For the audio listeners, check out the YouTube show. It's superior.
It's superior. Yeah, Frank puts a lot of work into so much more than I do in the audio as well.
I wish I could have a box that took over my video editing job.
Literally, now I don't have to do anything.
I should just teach you how to edit.
No, I'm good. I've pressed the buttons before,
You have pressed the buttons before. This is true.
and then I think you went back and fixed a couple, but
Yeah. It's weird, right? Though the
does
Zoom
look weird.
H8.
I like the bottom of it, like the screen part.
Yeah.
That looks like it's gonna be big.
Well, it's yeah.
Because I'm looking at these mics, this stereo thing at the top. You know how big that was on the
Yeah,
the
that's like
H6?
that big. That was in the last episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's at the start of that episode.
yeah, and it's quite bulky anyway.
It was like that big.
well, yeah.
So it's,
It's like you
probably
put it
like
in your
it's
hand.
like that. It's like that wide and probably like that tall.
Oh, so it's a similar size. It just looks a lot bulkier than
Yeah.
the H6.
I reckon it's probably about the size of like
A football? No, that's way too
no,
big. Like
way too big,
no, not
way too
AFL.
big. I'd say the size of about my mic,
Yeah, okay.
lengthwise.
Lengthwise.
Plus the
Plus the
actually
mic.
plus the shock mount, probably about that.
That's pretty big.
Like with the width.
It's pretty
and
big
everything.
compared to the H6.
Yeah, well, I don't. At that point, do you not just need an audio interface?
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what that is at that point.
Yeah, but then why retain the field recording aspect of it?
Well, it's more like because with an audio interface, or well, with most of them, you can't like that records onto an SD card. You can't with them.
Yeah,
you
right.
need your computer and stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas you could just show up to something with that.
Oh, okay. So it's just like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like them. Like I was honestly really tossing up between buying a H6 or an interface. But I bought an interface. But yeah.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, so that got announced. This comes out on Monday, so last week. I always have to do that. Like it's the same thing with the Shelley Duvall thing. Shelley Duvall actually turned 71 yesterday, but because this comes out next week Monday, well now, but for us next week Monday, I have to say
it's-
last week. I have to backtrack it.
Yeah, right.
Does my head in. Yeah, but for us, this got announced on Monday.
On Monday.
So last week,
few
Monday.
days ago.
Last week, Monday. But
Yes.
3 days ago for us. This is getting confusing.
This is very confusing. But yeah, that looks kind of weird.
It looks very strange.
I don't know how I feel about the way it looks.
I am kind of mad that the Zoom doesn't have step dials.
Yeah, okay.
Like how this has step dials where it's like...
Yeah.
It's just so much more satisfying.
Well, that one might. They're probably
it's the
saying all the stats.
It's the exact same as the H6.
Okay. Zoom also have other. You're right there.
Yeah, I'm just playing with the knobs.
Other field recorders that are more like professional.
Yeah.
And I think they're like the F series. And they're like a box, and I think they have step dials, and they have heaps of more like on board sort of effects and tons of stuff you can do with them. But yeah, I'd have to look at that up. But I think they might be step dials on those.
Right.
They have crazy things like F. Are you looking it up now?
I'm looking up the price on the H8.
H8, right? Yeah, I think they're F series ones, F8 or F9. But yeah, they're pretty cool.
So it's going to be $400 the Zoom H8.
Oh, that's actually pretty cheap.
Yeah. So this is everything that it has. So
That's fairly similar to the price of the H6 at the moment, isn't it?
well, I assume that it's supposed to supersede that.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to improve upon it. So I'll read out the key features. So, 3 distinct interfaces for field recording music and podcasting, interchangeable input capsules, 12-track simultaneous recording, 4 mic inputs, and 2 XLR/TRS combo connectors, gain control knobs, and negative or minus 20 decibel pads for each input. A lot of stuff I don't understand.
Do you want me to read it?
Maybe take it from... Well, do you have your glasses? Can you?
I can read it, yeah.
Okay.
I might zoom in, but I can read it.
Yeah, go for it.
What pads are is like, you can... If you're recording something that's really loud, like maybe cymbals, then you'll just hit the pad and it'll reduce it by 20 dB. And then you can have the gain at like 12 o'clock rather than way...
It's not like our
way
pads.
down. No.
Oh, our pads are cooler.
It's not like those pads.
Right.
Where'd you get up to? Gain control knobs, 20 dB pads. Supplied XYH6. So they're and 8-inch mic line in mini phone jack. Oh, there you go. There's a I think that's for monitoring. Secondary? No, it's an input. You can input from your phone.
Oh, so same as like the Rodecaster.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Phantom power for 4 main XLR inputs. So it doesn't have phantom power for all of them.
So it'll have phantom for the 4 XLR, but not the XLR/TRS.
Yes, but the H6 had it for all of them. Large LCD touchscreen display. That's new. Last one wasn't. Records directly to SD, SDHC, XDS. I don't know what that means. Up to 512 gigs. 24-bit, 96 kilohertz. It's pretty good. Well, that's all you'll ever need, really. Variety of MP3 formats, but to audio people out there, don't use MP3. Don't do it. Frank, one of our first podcasts, Frank went to export his vocal part, his podcast bit as MP3, and I was like, no. I just freaked out a little bit. Auto record, pre-record, and backup record functions means you'll never miss that perfect take. Built-in effects, including low-cut filtering, compression, limiting, so that'd be good for podcasting and even when recording loud things. Multi-channel and stereo USB audio interface for PC, Mac, iPad. Accepts standard AA batteries. Over 28 hours of operation with 4 AA batteries, so you'll need 4.
That's pretty solid.
Well, that's the same as H6 anyway.
Speaking of MP3s.
Oh, no. What did you do?
I have a confession to make, Joe.
Oh, no. Okay.
And it's going to hurt your soul a little bit.
I'm getting a snack for this.
So, our podcast hosting service doesn't actually accept WAVs.
It only
accepts MP3s. So, what I've been doing is just re-exporting the audio as like super high quality MP3s.
No such thing as super high quality MP3s.
But it works.
My goodness. I mean, they're not terrible for podcasts. But MP3s just like compress everything and it sounds gritty and things like that. But
It's fine.
it's all right for podcasts. And sorry, I shouldn't have eaten. I was just saying, and when Spotify and even YouTube play back things,
They compress it anyway.
Yeah, YouTube I think plays back MP3. Spotify though plays back at a slightly higher quality. I don't remember the name for it, but it's like between WAV and MP3.
Right. Interesting. All right.
But yeah, anyway.
Segue. Joe, we went out into Brisbane City last weekend.
Correct.
Last
week. Wow.
Yeah.
That felt like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's been a busy week.
Yeah.
But no, we were out in the city last weekend and we were just like bar hopping and hanging out.
It was great.
It was fun times. Now I want to bring up something that happened because it made me laugh quite a bit, and it is audio related. So Joe and I were standing outside of this bar, and our friends of ours, Joe's girlfriend and a friend of mine, were kind of hurrying us along, and we were just sitting there like, hang on, hold on, just wait.
I remember now.
He's got it now. We were like, hang on, just wait. And then Joe and I proceeded to spend the next 10 minutes trying to figure out the frequency of the space heater that was next to us. Because it was just sitting there going... And Joe got like his little app out and was like, okay, so this is what this sounds like. And we were like, that sounds somewhat similar.
Enough. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that. We were walking past it and they were trying to push us along. I was like, no, wait a minute. We got to listen. And then that was really hard because we were walking along and then we couldn't work out what it was because we didn't have anything to reference it to.
About to put it
Don't put it there.
I almost put for audio listeners, the weakest race. I was about to put my water on the Rodecaster Pro and that would have been bad.
We should move it forward so we can put it behind.
No, that makes me...
Yeah.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll just put it on the floor like a peasant.
Yeah, well, mine's on the floor.
Speaking of peasants...
what?
What a segue. Speaking of peasants...
I thought we were still talking about the frequency of the space heater.
I was just going to plug the Patreon, but let's keep talking about the space heater. Yeah, but we were getting...
What did we find? What was it in the end?
60?
60?
I don't know.
60 is very, very low.
What was our range again?
We were looking between 1 and 10K, which is quite a large range, but...
Oh, we ended up at 6.
6 or 7, I think we decided.
It was so dumb.
It was really dumb.
And then we were just giggling, and then they were like, what are you laughing about? We were like, oh, man. Back to my segue.
Yes.
Speaking of peasants, if you're not a peasant and you enjoy this show, you should head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/the Froe Show, where we upload a whole bunch of content.
Heaps of stuff.
Every single week. And there's an after Froe show that you get access to.
Mm-hmm.
There's clips from our sound checks that you get at the end of every month.
I'm looking forward to editing today's one.
Today's
was dumb.
Today's is really dumb. I'm mad we didn't start recording earlier because there was some really funny stuff.
We need
before
to. We
just need to record the second we walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also a couple other things that get plopped up there, like a couple like exclusive behind the scenes videos and text posts and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So check it out, patreon.com/the Froe Show, and we will see you there.
And our the thing from last week, the challenge from last week is up there, which reminds me,
it's not yet, but I still it will be.
It will be up there.
It will be up there by this episode.
Reminds me that I have a pitch for the next challenge.
Oh.
Which we won't do we'll do it in a few weeks.
Okay.
But
well, please do tell. I'm putting my iPad to
I have 2 ideas. So I technically have one for the next 2 things. For me, I don't know what well, actually no, for you, I don't know what I'm going to do.
All right.
But
I'll
the
figure
next
something
one,
out.
I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds of a clip and I'll give you some audio files.
I have to do Foley.
You will edit the sound together and do the sound design for a clip.
Okay, I think I can do that.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because it's kind of what I already do.
Yeah, you do a lot of that now. Yeah.
But can I do it in Premiere?
Depends what you have for me.
Okay.
That seems fair for you to do it in Premiere.
Yeah, because I don't know what.
No,
I would
you would
use.
probably freak out with
Yeah.
Pro Tools.
What can I get you to do? So I'll be doing
Sound design.
sound design. Ooh.
Oh no.
I can't. I was gonna say, I could get you to do color grading.
For like a photo? Or no?
No, for a
film.
video. But I'm not good at color grading either. So, like that's a whole nother profession.
Yeah, right.
But it could be fun.
It could.
Okay, what's your other one?
My
said you had
other
two.
one was then you have to come up with a track like from scratch. Did I write more on that? 'Cause
What do you mean, like
I think
a
I had
full
an
like a
idea.
song?
Yeah, wait. Actually, you'd be better than that than I would.
I reckon I could do that. I couldn't mix it. It would be horribly out of like all the levels would be wrong and it'd be horribly EQ'd. But I could
Maybe a like instrumental track.
that I would struggle with.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe that. I realized I wrote that but didn't actually know what I meant. So
Like all great ideas. I just wrote it down and hoped it would all come when I started talking.
it's like when you get up in front of the class and you're like, I can't read my notes. I don't know
You're
what
just
this
staring at a blank
says.
piece of paper. Just like I did that a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, I just stood up there and just like winged it with a blank piece of paper.
I can 100% see you doing that too.
It was in our Joe and I went to school together. It was in our last year of English.
Yeah.
When we did the
We weren't in the same English class, though, were we?
no, we weren't, but we did the same type of English.
Yeah.
It was the speeches that we had to do on like social media and stuff.
Did you not prepare for that?
Totally winged it.
What? How?
I
Did you get like second in the whole grade for
I did-
English?
almost. I was third in the grade.
Oh, third, okay.
I did do research. I just didn't write anything beforehand. Anyway, not related to the show at all, but just
Wow.
fun.
I'm really impressed.
Thank you. I can write.
You can, yeah. I know you can write.
Well, I need to think of something for you to do in your challenge then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I could be really mean. I could get you to make a. Okay, I know what I'm gonna get you to do. I'm gonna get you to gonna get you to make a B-roll sequence.
I don't know what that is.
So a B-roll sequence is like the things that you do to establish a place. So it's really more of like a content creator thing. Movies don't really do it as much these days. But you'll see it a lot in like Peter McKinnon's videos and that sort of thing where he'll go to a coffee shop and then there'll be like a 20 to 30 second sequence where it's like the guy pouring coffee and then like the steam pouring out of the cup and like the beans pouring in.
Yeah.
And that's like a combination
Oh, yeah, right. I know
of
what you mean.
shooting, editing, and sound design.
Right.
So I reckon you can do it. I'll make it a short clip. I'll make it 15 seconds.
Okay.
And we'll do that. We'll shoot the same thing, but you'll have to shoot your own video.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah?
How? Okay. Okay.
It won't be as hard as you think it is. I promise.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That'll be the next one.
Okay.
All right.
I have to decide how long your clip will be as well for the sound design.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I spent an hour this week at one point doing 10 seconds. No, not even that much. It was like one sound. It was, I might get you to do the same clip actually. Maybe I'll get you to do the same sound.
Okay.
It was a World of Warcraft trailer that I sort of just got rid of all the audio. And it's where he stabs some ice with his with his sword.
Yep.
And then it like the ice cracks and the wind comes up and and then like a massive dragon comes out of the ground, but I didn't get to that. But yeah, like
You're
just
like, I'm not even gonna touch the dragon.
well, the thing is, like, this character is so big already, and like the shots are like this character is really big and powerful, and then you have this dragon which is like, you know, 100,000 times bigger than him come out of the ground. You're like, how do you now make that
Just clip
dragon
all the audio? It's just
it distorts the whole time. Yeah, how do you make that dragon bigger than this guy now? So that's good old sound design little
right. I'm down.
problems. But anyway, yeah.
We
So
won't do it
spent an hour
soon. We'll do it
doing
in a couple of weeks.
that. Yeah.
But that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Sweet. That's great.
All right. Segue.
Speaking of like,
Oh, you're taking the segue.
I'm taking it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm stealing that boy. Of like post editing and
Post Malone?
stuff. I'm struggling with this segue. This is why you do it.
I'm a Segway Pro. I actually got my Segway license.
Really?
No.
Oh, I feel dumb now. The Frozen 2 documentary
You watched
that's
it?
on Disney Plus. I
Yeah?
did.
I did not.
I watched the first episode and then I immediately had to finish it.
Oh.
It was amazing. I loved it.
Oh, so it was actually really good.
I did really like it. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if it's for everyone, but yeah.
Well,
Being a guy who wants to do that for a living, I loved it.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So do you recommend that?
I would highly recommend it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone who is interested in this sort of stuff that
Yeah,
we talk about
Our
every week.
audience.
Yeah. So I would recommend it to our audience and to you because
to
it is
me,
amazing.
okay.
But like, just what blew my mind most, I think, was how many people it takes to do something like that.
Yeah.
And you have to watch it because you don't even properly understand till they explain some of the things. But they so the whole animating process is like, I don't even properly understand it, but you have like storyboards, that sort of thing, and then something else, and then like animators, and then they get sent off to effects and lighting and different camera movements, and then I think there's probably 2 or 3 more departments, and then it's sort of finalized.
That's insane.
That's just the animating part, and so I think they spent 3 or 4 years making Frozen 2. Yeah.
Like that's their only project.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all the animators, but definitely
Right.
all the management and sort of all those kind of people.
Huh.
So all the writers, songwriters, directors, all that kind of thing, producers.
3 to 4 years.
Yeah, on this thing.
building
So
this world.
I think it was like a year of pre-production and then 3 years of making it. And yeah, what blew my mind is, so even with Elsa's character,
Yeah.
there's one person who like supervises the animation for each character. This is just the animation. That's not effects, lighting, any of that. And the guy for Elsa had 70 animators under him working on
Just Elsa.
just Elsa for the film.
Wow.
For 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
They must spend hours on like single frames.
Yes. So they would each get maybe, like, I think the max someone had like 3 or maybe 4 scenes, and it's only a few seconds each.
Wow.
And they have like maybe 6 months sort of to work on it and to get it perfect. And they submit what they've done every day, and then they'll go and they sit in like the hot seat next to the producer, the director, and the writer. And then they play it up on the big screen in this theater, and then the director's like, "Can you just change this, this, and this, and this?" And that happens every day for 6 months.
So they just get like brutally bullied.
Oh well, they're all nice, but it'd be so scary. That like the seats are red as well, and all the other seats are black.
That'd be horrifying.
Yeah,
That'd be absolutely horrifying.
imagine doing that for the first time.
Wow.
No thanks.
Speaking of animation studios and stuff,
Yeah.
I read this quite some time ago. This is an interview from 2010. And it's an interview with a whole bunch of the people that worked on the original Shrek film.
Oh yeah.
And so at the same time that Shrek was being created, Prince of Egypt was also being created.
Oh yeah.
And so I'll just read this straight from here. Before its 2001 release, DreamWorks considered Shrek a low-budget boondoggle, a project to which animators were banished once they failed on other projects. One animator told author Nicole Laporte it was known as the Gulag. If you failed on Prince of Egypt, you were sent to the dungeons to work on Shrek. Employees called it being Shreked.
Being Shreked. Whoa.
So
that is insane.
Yeah, that's an actual thing that happened.
Now you say that, I kind of see that in the final production quality, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Because I find Prince of Egypt pretty epic, even in like its sort of sound scores and things like that. Like there are some big sections, like full choirs, full orchestras, and all that sort of thing. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
and Shrek went on to make
to
how
blow
much
Prince
more
of Egypt out of the water. Yeah, quite literally. Yeah, you just reminded me of that while you were talking about animators and stuff. I had to give it a quick Google. It wasn't in my notes at all.
No.
But man, that's such a fun story. I love that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Did you have more you wanted to talk about with the documentary?
Yeah, well, the only thing I didn't like about it was that it didn't have enough sound stuff. But, there's never a documentary long enough that has enough sound stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway. But even that whole process of like who's involved and just the amount of creative minds that are on the thing.
Yeah.
Because so initially there's the writer, and then they talk to some songwriters who will write the song. And that's maybe like a piano part and singing. And then that gets sent off to a composer. He writes the music for the orchestra. Then that gets given to a conductor. So I thought that at least the composer and the conductor would have been the same, but no, like it's a completely different guy. He can now do whatever he wants with the piece. It's
literally just like, all right, my work here is done, pass it on to the next person.
Yeah, unless he needs to go and change some things, but like,
wow, that's trust.
Yeah, well, that's all what composition with that kind of stuff. Even just sort of the everyday, writing music.
Yeah,
it's kind of like you publish your song and that's it. Now that conductor can now interpret that however they want.
That blows my mind that people have that amount of trust in their organization.
Yeah.
To be like, all right, here's my baby that I've been working on for 2 months. Good luck. Bye.
Yeah. That's also where it comes back to the thing where it's like, whose perspective is right? Is it the composers? Is their intent the correct one? Is it the conductors now, their interpretation? Is that correct? Or is it the audience's interpretation? Is that correct? Which one's right?
That discussion always scares me because I can never put enough thought into it to actually have a definitive answer because there isn't one.
No.
Yeah. So as a content creator, I would say me. It's me.
It's my exactly.
Me.
But then when you watch something like The Shining, who's right in that? Whose interpretation is correct?
To be fair,
yeah,
I do talk a lot about Stanley Kubrick's
that is fair.
vision for the movie.
So you think Stanley Kubrick?
I would say as a content creator, it is the creator of the works.
Okay.
Intention.
See, this is funny. Now, what about? Is it called The Room or something?
Mm.
Is that one that's about that? It's sort of meant to be an American drama, but it's actually really funny.
Oh hi, Mark. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh hi, Mark.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So the writer's intent and director's intent was an American drama. It was not meant to be funny.
I see what you're talking about now.
But it is hilarious. Who's correct?
I think it depends. I think if the artist's intent is shown through the work, then you should try to see the artist's intent. So if as a piece of drama it's effective, you should try to see that intent. But if it completely fails at its original intent and you find it works better in a certain light, then that's now the intent.
Right.
So I think it's kind of a weird seesaw of like, does it balance? Does it not? Like.
So what do you reckon with The Room?
I think with The Room, it's the audience, 100%.
The audience.
Yeah, 100%. That movie is horrible. It's so bad.
Even the sound design in it, oh my goodness. It is so funny. Like he walks into there's this one scene, he walks into a, what is it? It's like a convenience store and the door doesn't close. Like you don't hear the sound of the door closing. His footsteps are out of time and like just the whole thing. Oh, even the ADR as well. there's people talking when their lips aren't moving. Like, what the heck? And it genuinely just doesn't make sense. Some bits where like the cashier sort of goes out of frame and she says something and comes back and it's like, the expression she has now does not make sense with what she just said.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I actually have never watched that movie in full.
I haven't either, but I've probably seen enough of it to.
Yeah, to infer the rest of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that's a movie you really want to watch.
No.
in its entirety.
Well, they have big like theater screenings of it where
I
people,
know it's become a cult classic just because of
Yeah.
how terrible it is.
how funny it is.
Well, yeah, funny
It is
because it's
terribly
terrible.
funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right way to think about it.
Yeah.
Terribly funny.
But back to Frozen 2, just because I really like talking about it now. It's so cool. So it goes as a conductor, and then an engineer will record it and edit it and mix it, and then and then obviously the artist, they'll sing over it. But then you have, even with Foley stuff, the film will get sent to another place where a Foley artist will record things in time with the film, and then that gets sent back to the studio, and an editor will then go in and make sure it's all in the right place. And then there's another guy who will mix it properly. And then in the final stage, they have like every sound on a fader that goes across the whole theater, and then there's 5 engineers sitting across it, and the director will be like, that chair squeak is not loud enough. And so they'll go back, turn that fader up a little bit, and play that frame again, play that scene again.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's such nitpicking work.
Yeah.
But it makes a great film, so I understand
Yeah,
why
for sure.
you have to be so meticulous about it.
Yeah.
But wow. I'll have to watch it. I really want to watch it.
Yeah,
now. You've convinced me.
I just can't believe like how many people and how much time it takes. Like,
And that's on Disney Plus.
it is, yeah.
Speaking of Disney Plus.
Yes.
And a movie came out on Disney Plus this week. Or
Did it?
last week now. That's going to do my head in. I'm just going to say this week.
This week.
Movie came out this week.
What movie?
I'm actually surprised you don't immediately know what I'm talking about.
I probably will as soon as you say it.
So it's a musical that we've been following for a very, very long time, and that we both love quite intensely. And way back in the day,
No, I'm sad.
way back in the day,
I'm mad I don't know what this is.
in 2016, they filmed the show right as the original Broadway cast was leaving.
Oh, yeah.
And they put this film in a vault and said that it was going to be released sometime in the future. We don't know when.
Huh.
Now, it was released last week,
Mm-hmm.
and it is the original production of Hamilton.
Yeah.
Professionally filmed. I watched it last night.
You watched it?
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is
right.
phenomenal. Now, I had the absolute fortune of being able to see Hamilton in London, but seeing the original Broadway cast
Yeah.
does not compare.
Yeah.
It is incredible. So, I don't have anything else to say about that. I just wanted to mention it, and I thought I could piggyback off your Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But watch it. It's great.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
I cried.
yeah.
Not that that's hard, but I did. And it's just such a good musical. It's just like, it's feel good and it's sad and it makes you think, and it's just the best combination of every piece of media, and I love it.
Yeah.
I also love rap, so that helps.
Yeah. True. Fair.
Yeah.
It is. It's so cool in how that musical's written. Like, who did the songwriting for that?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Really?
He did all of it.
What?
He wrote the entire thing.
What the heck? I did not know that.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That's why he starred in it, because he was like, no one's going to be able to perform this as good as me, so I might as well.
Huh.
Yeah. If you don't know who Lin-Manuel Miranda is, obviously he wrote and performed in Hamilton. He also wrote the soundtrack for Moana, or part of the soundtrack for Moana.
Why do I not know this?
And he was the writer for In the Heights, which is a very popular musical from back in the day. And he also plays the chimney sweep in Mary Poppins Returns. That's probably where most people would recognize him from.
Yeah, right. I knew him from starring in the musical.
Yeah.
In Hamilton. I didn't know he wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote the whole thing.
Jeez.
Took him 6 years.
6 years. Yeah, I can imagine that would take a long time.
Yeah, but that's why he's so good at it, because like he wrote it.
Yeah.
He wrote it for himself and for his own abilities, so it makes sense that it's that good.
Yeah, right.
And other people just have to try and compare, and they can't. It's a
No,
bit sad.
Wow. That reminded me, sorry, I'm going back to
No,
the
it's
Frozen
okay.
2 thing, but when you said it took him 6 years, the Frozen 2 production team hadn't finished the story writing like 3 months before release. Like there were
Sorry?
there were plot holes in the film.
How did they fix it?
I don't know if I want to spoil it too much.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But there's one particular bit where you'll watch it and you'll be like, how did they not have this figured out before
right.
then?
So crunch time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so they sort of went through meetings and heaps of meetings, heaps of screenings. They had an audience screening. That was when they'd figured it out, though. I think they had an audience screening. But yeah, and like every time they were kind of like, this bit doesn't make sense. Like we don't know what's going on here, and you can just see the director and / writer sitting there like crying nearly.
Like how do we fix this?
Yeah,
Yeah, especially because it'd be such an anticipated film.
yeah.
That'd be so difficult as a writer director.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
But yeah, so that's another incentive to watch it. They hadn't finished the story writing a few months before it released.
Well, I will definitely watch it.
Yeah, good.
I'm actually kind of excited about it now.
Yeah, it is really good. I would recommend.
Speaking of movies, not that that's a good segue because it's most of the things we talk about. But do you know the movie Gladiator, the one with
I do know that movie.
Russell Crowe? I think it's Russell
Yes.
Crowe. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Russell Crowe, Gladiator. Gladiator originally had a sequel that was written for it. And it was... So I'm just going to read exactly what I have because nothing that I can say can make this sound less insane. Gladiator had a planned sequel and a script written by Nick Cave, but the story was so crazy with Maximus time traveling being Wow, I cannot speak. Let me try that again. But the story was so crazy, Maximus time traveling, being reincarnated by Roman gods, and fighting the Nazis, that it got scrapped.
How did they consider doing that? That sounds so...
It was specifically written to prevent a sequel from ever being made. It was a legal loophole. I love that.
That is
so
fantastic.
Much. So much. They were like, obviously in their contract, it was like, if this movie makes more than X amount of money, we have to consider a sequel and you have to have a script already written. And so he was like, Nazis, time travel.
And so they were just like, this guy's insane. We can't.
Yeah, they were like, we cannot make this film.
No.
There's no way we will ever make this film. No one will enjoy
So
it.
no sequel.
So I think that is
brilliant.
it's so good. It's so good that he was just like, I don't want to make a sequel. Oh, I love it.
He couldn't just not write a script?
Well, I assume there was some legal necessity in the contract that they signed that they needed to have a sequel prepared.
Right.
Whether if the movie made X amount of money in the box office, and so he just made the sequel so heinous and stupid that no matter how much money the film made, there was no way that it was going to compromise the first film by making a terrible sequel.
Yeah, right.
Which I mean, mad respect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I guess.
That's so cool. That is so clever.
Yeah. I have a bunch more stuff to talk about, but I
Yeah.
don't think I want to touch any of it. I think I might leave it for next week.
Okay.
Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
Well, man.
Oh. I think I speak the time off, but it's definitely playing.
Is that the right one?
Yes, that is the right one.
Okay.
You nailed it. I'm proud of you.
Are you sure it's the right one? Now I'm worried.
Let me turn the speaker back on so we can check.
I reckon it's the wrong one.
I think it's the right one. I'm actually I'm almost certain it's the right one. You ready?
Yep.
Watch.
He was right. Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized we would have been talking through the entire first one, so it sounded
Yeah.
really dumb.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Go for it.
Anyway, this is from Alex Barnhart.
I look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look like an idiot doing that.
We look like idiots most of the time.
I'm going to say what it is, and you can guess what it's for.
Oh, okay. It's like a little game.
Yeah, actually, it's might turn into a little game. So he says, okay, drop an egg on a really hot pan. I don't know if that's cracked or not. It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense if it's not cracked. That's kind of cool. Anyway, drop an egg on a really hot pan, reverse the sound and add some sci-fi processing, filter, flange, chorus, any of that sort of stuff, and then blend with synthesized sounds.
And I have to guess what this is for.
Yes.
I'm going to guess. You said something about sci-fi.
Yes.
So I'm going to guess it's either the sound of an alien, the alien language, or some part of an alien ship.
Okay. You were closest with that last one.
Some part of an alien ship.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So this is something that when I immediately read it, I was like, I thought of Halo. I don't know why. The game.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a...
That's the sound they make. They go, work. Let's stop doing that.
But it's a defensive energy shield.
What?
Yeah. What?
It's the sound I imagine it makes.
So you gotta... So yeah, drop an egg
like,
on a really hot
name?
pan
Daffy
and reverse it.
Daffy Duck.
Yeah, it did a little bit. Like a dying Daffy Duck. Like a dying
We had
grandpa
a teacher
Daffy
in
Duck.
school who used to play Daffy Duck.
Yeah, he actually played...
Actually, should we finish this and then get into that story?
Oh, well, that's it. That's my folly fact.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, we had a teacher in school who played Daffy Duck
Yeah,
at Disney.
In Japan.
In Japan,
So-
which is the hardest one to get.
Yeah. So he learned... Well, he studied Japanese because he was a Japanese teacher.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he lived in Japan and played Daffy Duck.
And I remember
In
every
Japan.
time we were good in class, we would beg him to do the Daffy Duck voice, and he would always say no unless he'd been super, super good.
Yeah.
And then it was just wild because you're like looking at this 30-something-year-old man,
And he's...
but it's Daffy Duck's
Duck.
voice coming out of his mouth, and your brain just cannot comprehend it at all. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's amazing.
Let's finish up there. If you like what we do and you enjoy us, check us out on social media at the Froe Show on absolutely everything.
Except TikTok. We still haven't done that.
We still haven't done that.
Man.
We've got to get on that. I've got to get on that TikTok grind before it gets taken down by the Australian government. Yeah, but we're on at the Froe Show and everything. Clips from the show and stuff are there, and occasionally we'll post some other interesting stuff, maybe if we feel like it. Also, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/the Froe Show.
Yes, please.
Heaps of extra content there for you if you enjoy the show, and any money that you give us goes straight back into the show.
Yeah.
We actually don't take anything from it, especially now because there's no one on there.
No.
Anyway, we will see you all next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Next week will be higher energy.
Whoa.
Yeah. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Banger. Can you fade down our mics? You ready?
If you want.